11 Toxic Archetypes That Are Holding You Back. Stoic Wisdom for a Better Life. I remember a day when the world seemed to conspire against me. A day when the weight of expectation and the sting of personal failures pressed down so heavily that I felt as if I were drowning in a sea of despair. As I sat alone on a weathered stone bench under a sky streaked with the hues of early dawn, I experienced a moment of piercing clarity. In that silent communion with nature, I felt the immutable power of Stoic wisdom, and I realized that the obstacles we face are often not the circumstances themselves, but the toxic archetypes we unwittingly nurture within us. Today, as we journey together through this exploration, I invite you to reflect on your own inner landscape. Who among us hasn't struggled with the inner demons of self-doubt, entitlement, and perpetual criticism? It is in understanding these toxic archetypes that we unlock the door to true resilience and self-discipline, key tenets of Stoicism that can transform our lives. I want you to picture this: a bustling city street where everyone seems to be in a hurry, consumed by the endless pursuit of success. Yet many remain shackled by internal battles they refuse to acknowledge. As we navigate the chaos of modern life, we are constantly bombarded with messages that feed our inner critic and magnify our fears. The toxic archetypes we harbor are like hidden saboteurs, undermining our potential and keeping us from realizing our true purpose. I've spent years studying the ancient philosophies of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, and I know that these timeless teachings offer us the tools to challenge and ultimately overcome these self-imposed limitations. Today, I share with you a roadmap, a journey into the heart of Stoic wisdom, designed to help you confront 11 toxic archetypes that hold you back from a life of inner peace, resilience, and true fulfillment. Let us begin with the archetype of the perpetual victim. Many of us find it easier to see ourselves as casualties of circumstance rather than as masters of our destiny. This mindset whispers to us that the world is out to get us, and in doing so, it robs us of the power to change. I ask you, when was the last time you accepted full responsibility for your reactions, rather than attributing every setback to external forces? In embracing Stoicism, we learn that while we cannot control external events, we have absolute control over our perceptions and responses. By rejecting the victim mentality, we open the door to personal empowerment and self-discipline. When adversity strikes, instead of lamenting our misfortune, we choose to learn and grow, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to practice virtue. Closely tied to this is the archetype of the perfectionist, a relentless, often self-destructive drive for flawlessness. I've seen how this mindset can paralyze even the most talented individuals. The perfectionist is haunted by the fear of failure, and in their quest for an unattainable ideal, they squander the beauty of progress. In Stoic philosophy, we are taught that perfection is an illusion. Instead, we should focus on the process, on consistent improvement, and on the pursuit of excellence through practice rather than perfection. I urge you to question: is it possible that by striving for an unattainable ideal, you are denying yourself the joy of progress? In every imperfect moment lies a lesson, and every failure is a stepping stone toward wisdom. Embracing the impermanent nature of life is not an admission of defeat but a celebration of our resilience and our capacity for growth. Next, we encounter the critical inner voice, the archetype of the relentless self-critic. Often, this voice is louder than any external criticism and can leave us feeling unworthy of love and success. I too have been ensnared by this voice, each harsh word chipping away at my self-esteem. But the ancient Stoics remind us that our worth is not defined by our mistakes but by our ability to rise each time we fall. When the inner critic rears its head, I invite you to pause, breathe, and reflect on the impermanence of each moment. Ask yourself, does this criticism serve my growth, or does it merely reinforce my fears? In questioning its validity, we reclaim our inner authority and begin to replace harsh judgment with compassionate inquiry. Then, there is the archetype of the martyr, those among us who sacrifice our well-being for the sake of others, often losing our identity in the process. I have seen many who, in the pursuit of doing good, allow themselves to be drained, believing that self-sacrifice is the highest form of virtue. Yet, Stoic wisdom teaches that self-care is not selfish, it is essential. When we honor our own needs, we are better equipped to serve others from a place of strength rather than depletion. I challenge you to reflect on your own tendencies. Do you find yourself constantly putting others before yourself, even when it costs you dearly? Remember that true generosity arises from a wellspring of inner strength, a strength that can only be cultivated when we learn to set healthy boundaries and prioritize our well-being. Another archetype we must confront is that of the procrastinator. In today's world, distractions abound, and the habit of postponing tasks can become a formidable barrier to achievement. Procrastination is not merely a habit of delaying work, it is a subtle betrayal of our potential. Fueled by fear and uncertainty, the Stoics believed in the disciplined use of time, recognizing that every moment wasted is an opportunity lost to cultivate virtue. I encourage you to ask yourself, what dreams and goals are you deferring because of the lure of momentary comfort? By confronting procrastination with intentional action and a commitment to self-discipline, you can reclaim your time and transform it into a canvas upon which your aspirations are painted. Intertwined with procrastination is the archetype of the control freak, the desperate need to micromanage every aspect of our lives in an attempt to ward off uncertainty. I have witnessed how the illusion of control can lead to frustration and anxiety. The Stoic insight is profound. The only true control we have is over our own thoughts and actions. When we fixate on controlling outcomes, we rob ourselves of the freedom to adapt and grow. I invite you to consider, what would happen if you relinquished the need to control every detail and instead trusted in your ability to respond wisely to whatever comes your way? In surrendering to the natural flow of life, we find that true power lies not in domination but in adaptability and resilience. As we journey further, we meet the archetype of the self-doubter, a persistent voice of uncertainty that undermines our confidence and prevents us from stepping into our true potential. Self-doubt can be paralyzing, leaving us trapped in a cycle of indecision and inaction. Yet, the Stoic path reminds us that each moment is an opportunity to reaffirm our worth through deliberate, purposeful action. I ask you to challenge your self-doubt. Can you see it as a signal that you are on the verge of growth? Each time you face your fear of inadequacy, you are presented with a chance to build inner strength and resilience. Remember, the ancient philosophers often reflected on the importance of trusting in the natural order and believing in the inherent capacity of the human spirit to overcome adversity. Another toxic archetype that frequently holds us back is the pessimist, the tendency to expect the worst in every situation, thereby clouding our judgment and stifling our potential for joy. I have met many who, burdened by the weight of their own negative expectations, find themselves unable to appreciate the subtle beauty of life's unfolding moments. Stoic wisdom teaches us to embrace reality as it is, without the distortions of excessive negativity. When you catch yourself succumbing to pessimism, I invite you to pause and consider, what evidence do you have that the future is destined to be bleak? By challenging these negative assumptions with rational inquiry and a commitment to gratitude, you can shift your perspective and open your heart to the possibilities that lie ahead. In parallel with pessimism, we encounter the archetype of the enabler, those who, in their desire to help, inadvertently reinforce negative behaviors in themselves or others. It is a delicate balance to offer support without becoming complicit in the perpetuation of harmful patterns. I have seen how enabling behavior can keep us trapped in cycles of dependency, stifling personal growth and denying us the opportunity to confront our challenges head-on. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength comes from empowering ourselves and others to take responsibility for our own lives. I encourage you to reflect on your relationships. Are there moments when you offer help that might actually be preventing someone from learning to stand on their own 2 feet? True compassion requires the courage to let go and the wisdom to know when support becomes a crutch rather than a ladder to independence. Next, let us consider the archetype of the entitled, those who believe that the world owes them something, who expect rewards without the effort of earning them. This mindset breeds resentment and disconnects us from the natural order of cause and effect. I have often marveled at how Stoic teachings remind us that the universe is indifferent to our personal desires, and that true fulfillment is achieved not through demands, but through the cultivation of virtue and gratitude. Ask yourself, do you sometimes feel that you deserve more than you have earned? In embracing the Stoic perspective, we learn that our focus should be on our own actions and character rather than on external rewards. The practice of humility and self-accountability paves the way for genuine success. built on the foundation of hard work and inner fortitude. We then come to the archetype of the drama queen, a tendency to magnify problems and create turmoil where there is none. Life, in its simplest form, is not meant to be a series of catastrophic events, but rather a continuous journey of learning and self-improvement. I have experienced moments when a minor setback was blown out of proportion, leaving me overwhelmed by emotion and unable to see the lesson hidden within. Stoic wisdom teaches us to maintain equanimity in the face of life's vicissitudes. I challenge you to observe your own reactions. Do you sometimes transform small obstacles into insurmountable crises? By cultivating a mindset of calm and reason, you can transform the narrative of your life from one of perpetual drama to one of measured resilience and thoughtful reflection. Finally, we arrive at an archetype that is both subtle and insidious, the saboteur within. This is not a persona defined by one particular trait, but rather the cumulative effect of all the toxic patterns we have allowed to take root. It is the inner dialogue that tells you that you are not enough, that you will never be able to overcome the myriad challenges before you. I have wrestled with this inner saboteur on many occasions, only to learn that its power diminishes the moment we choose to confront it with rational thought and steadfast determination. The Stoics believed that our greatest enemy is not the external world but the unexamined self. I ask you, with sincere curiosity and deep compassion, what parts of your inner dialogue need to be challenged today? In recognizing and disarming this saboteur, you reclaim your narrative, transforming self-doubt into self-discipline and fear into fortitude. As we weave together these reflections, it becomes clear that each of these 11 toxic archetypes, whether it is the perpetual victim, the perfectionist, the critical inner voice, the martyr, the procrastinator, the control freak, the self-doubter, the pessimist, the enabler, the entitled, or the drama queen, serves as a mirror reflecting our own vulnerabilities and unmet needs. Yet, within the framework of Stoic wisdom lies a transformative promise, that by acknowledging these patterns, questioning their origins, and steadfastly committing to the practice of self-discipline and inner strength, we can begin to dismantle the barriers that hold us back. I often say that our lives are not defined by the challenges we face, but by the way we respond to them. When we approach each toxic archetype with curiosity rather than judgment, we unlock the possibility for growth and renewal. There is a moment in every journey, a unique, unparalleled moment when the cumulative wisdom of our experiences converges into a single epiphany. I vividly recall a time when, after years of grappling with these inner saboteurs, I found myself standing at the edge of a quiet lake at dusk. The sky was ablaze with color, and in that silent, reflective space, I realized that the power to change was always within me. I understood that Stoicism is not a set of rigid rules but a way of living, a commitment to facing life's challenges with courage, humility, and unyielding resolve. It is in this moment of clarity that we discover the true essence of resilience, a profound acceptance of life as it is, coupled with the unwavering belief that we can shape our destiny through thoughtful action and virtuous living. Throughout our journey together, I have woven into our narrative the timeless principles of Stoicism, encouraging you to reflect deeply on your inner life. I have challenged you to question your assumptions, to confront the toxic archetypes that have silently dictated your choices, and to embrace a path that leads to a better life, a life anchored in inner strength, self-discipline, and the courage to rise above adversity. We have explored the destructive patterns that keep us chained to our past and learned that by accepting responsibility for our thoughts and actions, we open the door to true transformation. Every moment you spend in reflection is an investment in your future. A future where the echoes of ancient Stoic wisdom blend seamlessly with modern determination and the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. As you listen to these words, I want you to remember that the journey is not always easy. There will be times when the toxic voices within seem overwhelming, when the shadows of doubt and fear loom large. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of darkness that the light of Stoic wisdom shines brightest. The practice of self-discipline, the cultivation of inner resilience, and the steady application of reason can help you navigate even the most turbulent storms. I invite you to embark on a personal experiment, a challenge to observe your thoughts. Identify the toxic archetypes at play, and actively replace them with reflections grounded in reason, gratitude, and compassion. Imagine the profound transformation that awaits when you recognize that you hold the key to your own liberation. I want to share with you a practical exercise inspired by Stoic teachings. Set aside a few moments each day for quiet reflection. In a journal or even in your mind, list the moments when a toxic archetype surfaced. Perhaps you felt like a victim in a challenging situation. Or maybe you caught yourself spiraling into self-criticism over a minor mistake. Then, ask yourself, what lesson did this moment hold? How can you transform this energy into a step toward personal growth? Over time, you will notice that the once dominant voices of fear and self-doubt begin to recede, replaced by a steady cadence of self-assurance and purpose. This practice, grounded in Stoic wisdom, is not an instant fix but a gradual process of reconditioning your mind to embrace challenges as opportunities for learning and evolution. In the grand tapestry of life, each of us plays a unique role, and every experience, whether joyful or painful, is an integral thread in the fabric of our being. The ancient Stoics taught that external events are indifferent, yet our interpretations of them define our reality. When we allow toxic archetypes to dictate our perceptions, we surrender our power. But when we reclaim that power by questioning and transforming these inner narratives, we step into a realm of possibilities defined not by our past limitations but by our capacity for growth and virtuous living. I urge you to ask yourself, how can you, starting today, begin to dismantle the toxic patterns that have held you captive for so long? What small, courageous steps can you take to cultivate a mind that is both resilient and receptive to the beauty of imperfection? As our time together draws to a close, I leave you with one final, resounding thought. The journey toward a better life is not measured by grand gestures or overnight transformations, but by the cumulative effect of daily, deliberate choices. Every time you choose to confront a toxic archetype with the clarity of Stoic wisdom, you are paving the way for a future defined by inner strength and boundless potential. I encourage you to remember that, just as the sun rises anew each day, you too have the opportunity to begin again, to shed the weight of old habits and embrace the promise of a fresh start. With each sunrise, we are granted the chance to rewrite our narrative, to turn our struggles into stepping stones toward a more fulfilled existence. Let this be our pact, you, me, and all those who seek a life anchored in purpose and resilience. Together, we can cast aside the chains of toxic archetypes and step into the light of a future illuminated by Stoic wisdom. Embrace the lessons of the past without being imprisoned by them, and let the strength of your spirit be your guiding star in times of uncertainty. The road ahead may be long and fraught with challenges, but remember that every obstacle is an invitation to practice the virtues of patience, courage, and self-discipline. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. As you move forward from this moment, I invite you to carry these reflections in your heart. Let the insights of Stoicism serve as a compass, guiding you through the labyrinth of modern life with unwavering resolve and gentle wisdom. Each time you confront a toxic archetype within yourself, you are not merely fighting an internal battle. You're participating in a timeless dialogue between the chaos of the external world and the serene, unshakable center of your being. And in that dialogue, you will discover that the true measure of success is not found in the accumulation of wealth or accolades, but in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you are the master of your own mind. Today, I stand before you not as a flawless sage, but as a fellow traveler on this arduous yet rewarding path. We all have moments of weakness and times when the toxic voices seem too loud to ignore. Yet, by embracing the ancient wisdom of the Stoics and blending it with the relentless energy of modern life, we can forge a new way forward, a path illuminated by insight, bravery, and the simple yet profound truth that every challenge carries within it the seed of transformation. I urge you to take a deep breath, look within, and recognize the immense potential that lies dormant, waiting to be awakened by the power of mindful reflection and courageous action. In closing, let me remind you that the journey of self-improvement is a marathon, not a sprint. With each step you take to challenge the toxic archetypes that have held you back, you are investing in a future defined by resilience and authenticity. The Stoic wisdom we have explored today is not merely a set of abstract ideas, but a living, breathing philosophy that can empower you to lead a life of meaning and fulfillment. As you step out into the world, may you do so with the unyielding conviction that you have the strength to overcome any adversity, the clarity to discern what truly matters, and the compassion to extend that understanding to others. Now, I invite you to take that first step. Embrace the imperfection, harness the power of reason, and allow the timeless teachings of Stoicism to guide you as you dismantle each toxic archetype that has ever held you back. Let this be the moment when you decide that your life, your actions, and your destiny are in your own hands. For in every breath, in every heartbeat, there is a chance to rewrite your story. A story defined not by the limitations of the past but by the infinite possibilities of the future. As you continue on this path, remember that you are not alone. I am with you, and so are countless others who have chosen to live with intention. Guided by the enduring light of Stoic wisdom, let us move forward together, shedding the weight of toxic archetypes, and stepping boldly into a life where each challenge is met with calm determination. Each setback becomes a lesson in resilience, and every moment is an opportunity to become the best version of ourselves. The journey may be long, and the road may twist unexpectedly, but with steadfast resolve and an unwavering commitment to growth, we can transform our struggles into a powerful testament to the enduring human spirit. In the end, the power to change your life lies within you. Embrace the wisdom of the ancients, let it meld with the energy of today, and watch as you unlock a version of yourself that is strong, compassionate, and fiercely resilient. This is not just a philosophy, it is a call to action. A call to rise above the toxic archetypes that have once confined you and to step into the light of a future built on the principles of Stoicism. And so, as the sun sets on this chapter of our shared journey, know that a new dawn awaits, rich with the promise of growth, inner peace, and the realization that every challenge you face is an opportunity to shine even brighter.